How's it going, guys? It's Kass. As always, if you've been enjoying my content, then feel free to subscribe. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what you're going to see in the background, and if you haven't seen my last video, this is the high-level version of leveling with Island Expeditions. I actually made this character brand new from level 8, the new starting point for Demon Hunter, all the way up to level 50. And aside from obviously doing the intro version of the Demon Hunter questline, I did islands the whole way through. I also did these islands very early in the morning because my sleep schedule is awful. And so that's 4 a.m., not 4 p.m. And my queue times were like between anywhere to like 2 minutes to 4 minutes. And I probably did around like 100-ish island expeditions in that time frame. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Unfortunately, I started this and then just came up with the concept like a few levels into it, so don't really have a exact number on how many I did, but it is what it is. This video is also going to talk about some of the progression of the Demon Hunter now that we start from level 8 and the way that our character scale is significantly different with the abilities that we have access to. In the video, you're going to see me playing tank, Vengeance, the whole entire time. I am not a good Vengeance player. I don't really enjoy playing Vengeance that much. I think it's pretty fun, but I just generally don't like tanking. However, with Islands, I felt much better playing a tanking role, just because obviously you die a lot less. And as long as you have people that actually listen, which doing this solo is... I wouldn't wish this on anyone, but I did it solo the whole way through. But at least when you're playing a tank, it's a little bit better because you have some say. Maybe you just type in chat before to have people follow you. Most of the time they'll follow you. You get the odd group of rogues that just want to run around and stealth the whole entire time and pick up boxes. I would honestly just suggest leaving those groups and taking the 30-minute dodge timer and just doing something else on a main character while that happens. I had that happen like 2 separate times. It was incredibly frustrating. I stayed in one of those groups and it took like 17 minutes to clear the full thing. And this one you're seeing here is what happens when people actually listen to you. These 2 hunters played around me most of the time, and we had a pretty decent time going through this. The end time for this run is around like 9 minutes. Versus if you saw the video of the twink that I did playing solo with a healer and a monk that never grouped a single time, we did that run in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So it's significantly better to play the twink version. Link to that video in the description below. Now I will say that leveling from fresh, which I believe I was like level 16 or 17 by the time I got out of the starting zone, to like around level 30 doing it this method was actually fairly efficient. I think it took me like 3 hours or something like that to get to level 30. And the whole time I felt pretty strong the whole way through. But after level 30, there's some weird scaling with this that makes it almost unbearable to play, honestly. Like, you feel way less strong, even though you're getting way higher in levels. It's just such a weird concept to make the scaling the way that it is, but it's Blizzard, what do you expect? But anyway, after level 30 is when the pain really started with this. It took me 12 hours from level 30 to level 50 as just an idea of only doing these. So realistically, I would not suggest leveling this way past level 30. However, if you're in a group with people, it may still be like relatively efficient. As you'll see at the end of this video, my slash played was actually right around 15 hours and some odd minutes to get to level 50. So realistically, it's not that much slower than the times that Wowhead have stated for Legion, with WoD obviously being the fastest around like 12-ish hours in the blog post that they've made. Now, obviously, someone that has a decent understanding of the route and has a decent understanding of like their class can probably go faster than that 12-hour barrier. But this was kind of something that I just I wanted to test just to see if it was at all competitive. And realistically, I think it is fairly competitive with the first 30 levels. But like I said, after that point, just quest. or a dungeon. It'll be much faster. It might be less enjoyable, but it will be much faster. And that's like strictly from a solo perspective. I do think that if you have a group of 3 people that all have heirlooms and enchants on their heirlooms, that they can do this portion of leveling probably faster than any other content, and you're leveling 3 people at once. So if you have access to like triple boxing, that might be a potential option to level pretty fast. With that being said though, I would also suggest investing into off pieces that you don't have access to, because obviously you're not getting gear for your level in the situation or in this scenario. I ended up buying gloves, rings, and boots and belts and bracers throughout the whole situation. I bought them once at level 30 and just used them all the way up, so it's not like that big of an investment. There's normally some decent greens on the auction house that aren't that expensive, so I'd suggest doing that just to make it a little bit more comfortable as you go through the leveling process this way, if you're deciding to do this with a group. As for Demon Hunter specifically, and how it felt leveling, Vengeance felt pretty good. Havoc felt okay. I feel like we're missing a lot of survivability, obviously, with the changes in healing and leech and things like that. Even once we get soul rending, it didn't really feel that great as Havoc. I feel like Furious Gaze should be given to us at like level 30, not level 58. I think a lot of that's because people already have access to Furious Gaze right now, and they didn't want to be absolutely absurd in pre-patch. However, like it feels pretty bad to not have access to that, as well as having Demonic and Momentum as the last talents. It feels like you're changing to a completely different class once you have Demonic unlocked. Or especially if you try and play Momentum, it'll feel like a completely different class. And that's kind of the weird progression with Demon Hunter that unfortunately is going to be pretty hard for them to fix. But honestly, it feels pretty good. It's not too terribly bad leveling a fresh Demon Hunter. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and just let the video play out for the rest of it. If you like the video, leave a like. If you didn't like the video, F5 refresh, try it again, maybe like it the second time. Have a good one. Oh, also at the end, there's going to be some clips of the loot that I got. I ended up with 299 coins at the end. And of course, I opened one of the big boxes expecting to get them out, didn't get them out. Stopped recording, opened one of the small boxes expecting not to get them out, and got them out because I actually didn't know how these boxes worked originally. But yeah, in this whole experience, I ended up getting 2 mounts total. I got the Twilight Drake and I got the Moose mount. All right, have a good one.